Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the NWA power review for the 25th of May 2021. We've got over 1,300 audios available for your listening pleasure in both modern and old school wrestling when wrestling mattered. This is the NWA power review for this week, and we're 2 weeks away from their next pay-per-view. Pope opens the show, joins the commentary team. He shows off his NWA Television Championship in the process. Curtis and Aaron Stevens join Kyle Davis at the podium to discuss their tag title defense later in the show. Davis points out that Stevens and Curtis haven't been getting along. Stevens said there's enough proof that they could get the job done by how they've done it in the past. Curtis then says nothing, and they go to the ring being at war with each other. Stevens and Curtis defeat the War Kings, Jack Stane and Crimson, to retain the tag team championships. Decent match here. So, War Kings are eventually going to be champions. It's just a matter of how long, at least in my opinion. Curtis and Stevens not liking each other is a story that's been overdone throughout wrestling history over the last 30 or so years, but they're doing it as well as they can. Anyhow, Curtis tags himself in, and Dane asks to go to war with the big men, opening his mouth. Two big guys get in the ring, and they have a battle of brawling, bunch of power moves. Dane flattens Curtis with a lariat. Stevens tags in, and Curtis pulls Crimson back into their corner, but takes advantage, and that doesn't last very long. Crimson and Dane double team Stevens. Dane does the Garvin Stomp bit on Stevens while making fun of Curtis, and manages to drag himself over for a tag. Curtis hits a huge deadlift vertical suplex on Crimson, which looks pretty good. Referee is looking at Dane. Mystery Man attacks Crimson and knocks him out. Curtis takes advantage and pins him. Nick Aldis is out next. He discusses removing Tom Latmere and Adonis from the tag team championship match last week. He claims he didn't force them to do anything. Aldis then said that he came to the decision collectively and claimed that they were going to make a star in Mims, an exhibition match. Kyle Davis announces a few more competitors in the Battle Royal later in the show. Trevor Murdoch is one of the names. Problem is it hasn't been 30 days yet for his suspension, only 28. And anyway, NWA champion Nick Aldis defeats Mims in an exhibition match. Aldis dominates the ending with Texas Cloverleaf in a couple of minutes. Nothing major to write home with here. Thunder Rosa with Melina and Camille with Taryn Tyrell ends in a draw. Rosa goes after working over Camille's knee to keep her grounded. Does a bunch of ground and pound stuff. They exchange a good bit of mat wrestling. Different from previous matches on the show. I like the spin up of multiple styles on the same show. It's good for business. Rosa shows an advantage with a submission game, trying to go to war with Camille and keep her down. There's a cattle mutilation spot in the middle here, throwback to another great wrestler in Bryan Danielson. Rosa continues to out-wrestle Camille, who tries to pull hair and throw strikes. In an escape, Rosa then is pretty relentless. Camille eventually makes it to the ropes and breaks them apart again. Rosa then goes to the right and back, kicks the legs, and hits a bulldog. Rosa does a corner charge, and Camille trips Rosa, who crashes into the middle buckle in the meantime here. Camille is using power and strength as one would expect her to do, takes advantage, gets things back in her area and then hits backbreakers on Rosa, keeping her grounded. Camille then looks tired at this point. Rosa sells so well that they still make all of Camille's offense look good. Rosa then hits a few chops and goes cross body, but Camille caught her and locked on bear hug and lifts Rosa from the mat. Camille then hits a belly to back suplex and hits a superplex, or tries to anyway. Rosa counters it with a sunset flip powerbomb out of the corner. They're doing a little too much at this point in the match, but at least it's building in a natural direction. Terrell tries to interfere, but Melina pulls her out of the ring. There is a interesting wardrobe malfunction which editing takes care of. Referee throws both of the seconds out of the ringside area. Rosa hits a dropkick on Camille onto the floor. Rosa immediately goes back to her game plan, working for submissions and out wrestling Camille. Then Terrell tries to interfere. Melina pulls her out of the ring, and the screen is blurred again. Referee throws Terrell and Melina out of ringside. Rosa hits a dropkick on Camille on the floor. Rosa goes back to her original game plan and tries to get Camille to submit. Rosa hits a double knee to the face in the corner and a huge drop kick to the back and gets a near fall. Camille then goes for a spear, but Melina came back out and Camille drops her with a clothesline. Rosa rolls through and hits a code breaker on Camille for another near fall, probably the best match of Camille's career at this point. Camille then tries to pick Rosa up, but Rosa locks in an octopus stretch hold. Camille manages to power her way out of that, and then they go back and forth. Camille coming back using her power again. Then they go into a spot where Camille just falls backwards out of exhaustion. Rosa counters into an armbar on Camille, who picks Rosa up and power bombs her into the top turnbuckle for her trouble. Camille then hits a spear on Rosa, but Rosa gets to her feet and then to the ropes. Rosa counters a second spear into another armbar and hits Camille and traps her. Bell rings for a time limit draw. It's definitely a good deal. We don't now know, because the time limit draw, who the number one contender for the NWA Women's Championship is. Trevor Murdoch wins a Battle Royal to become the number one contender for the world title, NWA world title. That at least we know. The match itself is your everyday typical Battle Royal, and I don't enjoy them, so we'll save you a bunch of time here. Murdoch enters and basically cleans house. Chris Adonis comes out having given up his NWA National title to enter the Battle Royal. What a supreme sacrifice for the group. And certainly there are some lazy guys in the match, including Titus. Final four are Adonis, Latmere, Murdoch, and Titus. Pope comes out, pulls out Titus, pulls him out of the ring, and then Adonis and Latmere try to double team Murdoch. Murdoch ducks. Adonis hits Latmere and sends him out to the floor. Murdoch then clotheslines Adonis over the top rope, getting revenge for his trouble. Adonis stomps around the ring and attacks Murdoch, who fights back and sends him out with a top rope bulldog. He celebrates before coming for an interview. Murdoch's in tears, says that he's so proud to challenge for the NWA World title. He says he is coming for the title and is going to win the title for Harley Race. And great promo. Wish guys knew how to cut promos like this on a national stage. Well, they know how. They just either in AEW don't choose to, or in WWE aren't given the opportunity to. Anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.